Hi friends! So we are back with another video, and this time we are doing kitchen chat summertime style because we are officially done with school, which is super exciting. The kids are a little bit sad. They're going to miss their friends this summer, but I have lots of things planned, and we're going to do some play dates and stuff. So we are, let's see, we have 2 first graders and a second grader now, which is totally crazy. So today we're going to do a little bit different of a video. I'm going to talk about loneliness and motherhood because I think it's one of the things that women across the board feel, but I also think it's one of the things that we just don't discuss. Hang
on to these.
Okay. They're going crazy. When you announce you're pregnant, most of the time people are like, yes, so exciting, congratulations, but they celebrate it, which they should totally celebrate a new baby, a new life, but nobody really warns anyone for the hard parts of it, the loneliness aspect. Everybody tells you you're going to be tired, and you're like, yeah, I've been tired before, but nobody really warns you about the loneliness aspect, and I think because nobody wants to be a Debbie Downer, and I certainly do not want to be a Debbie Downer. I love children. I have 5 children. I would have more children if my husband would let me, but it's hard. And so I've heard before, so all the information I'm going to give you are things that have worked for me, wisdom that I've learned from,
Mommy.
right here,
Thank you.
from mentor moms or speakers at MOPS or conferences I've been to, and then just some things that I have done that I have figured out have worked for me because I really struggled becoming a mom the first time. So one of the speakers I heard at MOPS said that the hardest is to go from 2 kids to 3 kids because then you're like outnumbered. You don't have a hand for each kid. But I think really the hardest number is to go from 0 kids to 1 kid. Because your entire life changes. Like the things that you thought were a priority are no longer priorities for you. And hey guys. And like for me, like after I had my first baby, I did not want to go back to work. Work was no longer a priority. A priority was being home with my baby, and that's what I wanted to do. So my first what are y'all doing?
Hey, hi. Hi. Food.
Okay, so my first piece of advice or step or whatever you want to call it is recognize your season and look for the good in it. Okay, so recognize your season. When you've got that little baby, you're now in postpartum season, and it's amazing, it's wonderful, and it is also exhausting. It is so tiring. And so for the first month or so after you have that baby, everybody and their brother wants to see that baby. They want to hold that baby. They want to tell you how cute that baby is. They want to shower you with gifts, which they should, which is awesome. It's so amazing to have support. But then a month into it or so, people aren't bringing meals anymore. Your endorphins have worn off, so you're no longer tired and have lots of endorphins. You're just tired. Now you're just exhausted. Because your hormones are going crazy and going to crazy town. That's why I like to call it going to crazy town. And people stop coming around, especially your friends that don't have kids, because they do not understand this world that you have entered into. And so I think for me, after every baby that we've added in, it's really that month or 2 months in is the hardest part, because there's no longer people coming around, and now you're exhausted, and that loneliness is really starting to set in. So recognizing your season, when you're in that postpartum season, this is your season. You are forced. It is by design. I'm convinced that a baby needs to eat as often as they need to eat. It's not because their tummies are this tiny. It's because God wants you to slow down. He wants you to sit down, and He wants you to look in your baby's face, and He wants you to enjoy and bond and just be mesmerized by this teeny tiny little beautiful person that is now in your care. So you are going to be nursing. You're nursing if you're nursing or bottle feeding, either When will you be done?
Now give a
When will you be done? Very soon. Thank you.
You've done 2 already.
You are so mean.
Shh. Okay. So you are sitting in a chair and you are nursing for 5+ hours a day. Obviously not all at the same time, but a baby needs to nurse constantly or eat constantly and eat a lot. And so you're going to sit and you're going to put your feet up and you're going to hold that baby for hours and hours and hours a day. And that is fine. That is your season. That is like what you're supposed to be doing in that time period. But that's such a change from what you were doing before baby. You were probably working, or you were going out with friends, or you're meeting for lunch, or you were sleeping in, or for me it was horseback riding. I was horseback riding. I was going to the gym. And now I'm forced to sit and be still. And as much as I loved it, it was also very difficult. So recognizing your season and then finding the good in your season.
Max took my bear.
Okay, Max, give her back her bear, please.
We're playing a game, but I have to get all the bears.
Okay, but does Millie want to play that game? Millie, do you want to play that
I
game?
want to play a different way where I have all 5 bears, and if he catches one, I have to give him all 5 bears.
Okay.
But he won't give me the purple one, so I can't.
Okay, so listen, you guys need to play by the rules and play kindly or I'll take them away.
So how?
Okay, so recognizing the good in the season. So think about the 4 seasons. You've got winter, spring, summer, and fall. There are amazing things about each season. Summer, it brings pool time and sun and warmth and vitamin D. Winter brings snow and the beauty of that. It brings... Okay, stop now, okay?
Okay.
It brings Christmas time.
You got to 100. I'm not doing that.
But it also brings bitter cold. Summer brings heat and
Everyone, run.
sweatiness. I don't know. So you can either focus on the negatives in each season, right? Or you can focus on the positives. You can either focus on, if you're in winter, you can focus on the beautiful snow, or you can focus on the bitter cold. It is a choice. And for a very long time, I chose to focus on the negatives instead of the positives of my season. So looking for the good in your season, recognizing your season. Your season may change very quickly and it may not change very quickly. If you have a high needs or a special needs baby, your season is going to be really, really, really long. If you have a baby that wants to grow and mature super, super fast, your season is going to change very quickly. The thing is, you really don't necessarily have control over your season. You don't get to control if you're in summer or winter. But when you find yourself in winter, you do get to control how you feel about winter, how you see winter, and what you choose to focus on. So that's number 1. Number 2, I debated on putting number 2 or 3, but I decided to put it number 2, is be a friend. It is so hard to be a friend when you're in postpartum and you're lonely and you feel like nobody loves you. It's so hard to reach out. But I remember being in that lonely stage, and I was at MOPS, and I remember a speaker saying, if you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend. If you want somebody to bring you a meal, make 3 meals and take them to 3 different people. You have to reach out. Somebody has to reach out first, and so it might as well be you. If you are feeling lonely and you need to find a connection, then be a friend first. Call that person. Don't text somebody. Call them. Don't email them. Call them. Don't just check in on Facebook, but call them. Like, actually have a conversation with them. Write a letter. Nobody does snail mail anymore, and I just love snail mail. It's so exciting to get an encouraging letter in the mail. I try to send some out as much as possible. I probably don't send them out as much, but I got a very unexpected Mother's Day letter a couple weeks ago from somebody who I didn't expect a letter from, and it was so encouraging. It was short and sweet, but it was so encouraging. I actually saved it and put it up on my little wall so that I can remember it. But so be a friend. She was being a friend to me. She was reaching out. I didn't reach out to her, but she reached out to me, and so I know it's hard that when you feel your plate is full to add something else to it, but it's not hard to write a letter. You take 2 minutes and send out a letter. Take a couple of minutes and make a phone call. And just being transparent with that person, let them know that you're feeling lonely and that you came to mind and that you wanted to get together. That is one way to beat the loneliest. Okay, so number 3 is So find a friend. You can be a friend, but then you can also find a friend. And what I mean by that is find somebody who you look up to. Find somebody who maybe has kids a little bit older than yours. If you're pregnant, find somebody that you, if you haven't had babies yet, find somebody that you think is a good mom, who in your eyes is a good mom, who you like the way she's mothering or like the way she handles life, and just reach out to her and kind of become that stage 5 clinger. Like, just follow her around, gain her wisdom.
Talking about sink stuff.
Okay, please stop. There's so much to be learned from people, and I think people are afraid to share their wisdom because I think people don't realize how wise they actually are. And so if you find somebody that you admire, that you really, really want to gain wisdom from, just find a friend. Be a friend and find a friend, and that is one way to beat the loneliness, to learn that wisdom from them. Kind of maybe like a mentor. She could be a mentor towards you. Okay, number 4, get involved. For me, it was MOPS. I got invited to MOPS by somebody who I didn't really know very well at the time, and she invited me. MOPS is Mothers of Preschoolers, and it's held usually in churches, but it's for anyone pregnant through age 5 or 6, depending on the church. But so I got invited while I was still pregnant, and I thought, I don't need this. Like, I have friends, I've got work, I'd rather sleep in. This is not something I need. I don't need to be going and talking to people I don't know. And then about 5 weeks into being a mom, Madison was like 5 weeks old. I need something. I need someone. And so I started going to MOPS, and I have been to MOPS ever since. It has been such an influential part in my life. This mommy group that is full of wisdom, and you learn from each other, and they bring you meals when you have babies, and they have play dates where you can connect, and it's just, they have mentor moms who, when you're having a hard time with somebody, you can say, this is going on, what do I do? And they're there, and they give you wisdom, and they pray for you. It's a wonderful thing. So get involved. So my point is, don't just go to MOPS. Don't just be a mom that goes and sits down and then leaves. Get involved in MOPS. I think I went for a semester, and then after that I got involved. I was horrible on the hospitality team. I did a terrible job, but I was on hospitality for a little bit, and then I did care team, I think, and then we started a MOPS at our church, and so I coordinated for 3 or 4 years, and so being involved gets you connected. It gets you to meet other people. It gets you invested. It creates a bond that you wouldn't naturally have. Now, if you don't want to go to MOPS, there are other things that you can do to be involved. You can get involved if you have older kids, get involved at their school, Bible studies. I have here, where is God leading you? So really to pray about it. Where is God leading you? Is He leading you in a direction? Has something been on your mind, some volunteering or something been on your mind that you're like, I really wish I could do it? My advice is to just do it. Just jump in and do it. Because people aren't going to hunt you down. People aren't going to say, please join, please come, please join. You just kind of have to do it. Reach out and get involved. And again, your plate is already full. I know this. My plate is so full. But I just tried to get a bigger plate. Like, I wanted to get involved. I wanted to be surrounded by people. I didn't want to feel alone. I didn't want to be alone. And so I did the best I could to get involved. Then I have open your door. So we have been doing something in the past. So there's this thing that was going around Facebook probably a year ago, and it was called the Crappy Dinner Party. It was talking about how this woman, she didn't clean, she didn't do anything special, she didn't make anything special, but it was like her friends always knew that they could just, it was an open invitation. They could stop by. They didn't have to bring anything. They didn't have to get dressed up. They just came and spent time together. So my daughter didn't like the word crappy, so we started saying casual dinner party.
I saw some ducking, and I saw Destiny, and her neck was up.
Oh, her neck was up? Good, baby. My 4-year-old has ducks, and they got attacked by a fox, and so we were worried we were going to lose them, but they've been doing good. She said she just saw them walking around. Okay, so back to casual dinner parties. So we started doing casual dinner parties, and it was kind of this open invitation on Thursday. You come to our house, and we are going to play outside, and the kids are going to run around and get sweaty and probably not eat anything, and the adults are going to sit and chit-chat and eat. I mean, one time I even just served chicken salad because I didn't have anything. So it's nothing special. I don't have to clean. A lot of times I was still in my pajamas because I had been homeschooling all day. And so it's this idea of not having to be perfect, the idea of being judgment-free, of your home doesn't have to be in perfect condition. You don't have to be in perfect condition to be able to invite people in and enjoy their company. And to be honest, some of the people that were regulars to our casual dinner party last summer were not people that I would have normally reached out to. But the fact that they came so faithfully every Thursday, I really made some great friendships. And that's purely because I said, come eat some food. It might be good, it might not be good, but just come and enjoy. And it was really such a blessing. And we're getting ready to gear up again for our casual dinner parties. And the kids are really excited. So open your door. You may not want to host anybody and everybody and make it an open invitation, but you can find 2 or 3 people that you know, even if they're in your neighborhood, and just come over for coffee, or come over for donuts. I don't know. Come over after the babies go to bed. Whatever suits your lifestyle, just open up your door and invite them in, and let them know that it's a judgment-free zone, that you are not going to be in perfect condition and your home is not going to be in perfect condition, but to just come and have fun and make a connection. And then the last one I have is get uncomfortable. So I went to a women's conference just a little bit ago, and the speaker said something that really hit me. She said, in the uncomfortableness is where blessings are found. So your ability to be able to get uncomfortable, and being uncomfortable is going to look different to everybody. So somebody who is an introvert, being uncomfortable is going to be inviting somebody, one person out, and just spending time with that one person, right? Maybe the getting uncomfortable is, for me, like leading a MOPS group. I was very uncomfortable leading a MOPS group. I don't see myself as a leader. I don't even necessarily think I did a good job leading, but somebody had to do it, and I kind of felt like God was saying, why not you? And so I did, and it was uncomfortable for me, but I learned a lot. I grew a lot, and I made some really good friends. So getting uncomfortable is where you're going to find those blessings. God's not going to bless you. Well, I shouldn't say that. You're not necessarily going to find a blessing just sitting on your couch, right? Like, people aren't just going to bang down your door and say, you are so amazing, I want to spend time with you, right? You have to get uncomfortable and get out there and open yourself up. And God will bless that, because that is an honorable thing to do. It's scary, and you're going to make mistakes. I'm sure made tons and tons of mistakes, but I also gained a lot of wisdom, and I learned how to be humble. I ate a lot of, what is that saying, like crow pie? Eat your, I don't know, eat your pie. Humble pie, that's it. Eat your humble pie. I ate a lot of humble pie, but I really did grow, and I think that it has set me up to do well in like a stepping stone to do well in others. Okay, so recognize your season and look for the good in your season, focusing on the positive. Be a friend. Reach out to a few people and be their friend. Find a friend. Find somebody who's a little bit older than you, has kids that are older than you, somebody that you admire and kind of want to emulate, and just attach yourself to them. Get involved. My son's trying to. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Your hair looks good. Did you brush your hair?
Yes.
Good job. I'm sorry.
Look what I was doing.
I'm very abusive to you guys. Okay. Okay, so recognize your season, look for the good, be a friend, find a friend, get involved, open your door, and get uncomfortable. Those are a few of my little, off the top of my head, ways to get involved. Oh, and also, if it's not you, if you are not the one that is having babies, if you're still without kids, and you have a friend who just had a baby and you can't get a hold of her. She's not returning your texts. She can no longer meet up with you at 10 o'clock at night to hang out. Don't ditch her. Don't. Just because you're in different life stages doesn't mean that you can no longer be friends. I think one of the most hurtful things for me was all the friends I lost, because I was kind of the first person in my friend group to have a baby, and so since I was kind of the first one to navigate it, I didn't do a good job navigating it, and I think that they didn't want to wait around for me. So really try to reach out and try to understand her position also. So that's that. I have written down Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times, and I want you to know that I love you, I'm rooting for you, and we'll see you next time for Kitchen Chat. Say bye.
Bye.